Okay. All right. So thanks for reminding me we're in an official meeting now. So let's go ahead and get started. It's 7 o'clock, and this is a special community meeting that we are hosting to finalize the community vote on whether or not Sun can change its bylaws, which would in effect change its name to Central Park United Neighbors. And so just the agenda for tonight is it's really just that. So we're leaving the voting open for the first 15 minutes of this meeting. And the vote is one of the only items on the agenda that we have, but we can go over and answer some questions and just kind of recap everything that led up till now. Then we'll get an introduction from the MCA's newest delegate, Shalise Hudley, and then we'll adjourn. It'll be a short and sweet meeting. And so, and I'm trying to advance the slides. Can we, next slide, please? So something that I want to remind you of repeatedly during these first 15 minutes, the next 13 minutes, 12 minutes, is that voting will close at 7:15. And so if you've not yet voted, there's a link to participate in the vote in the chat for this meeting, and it's also up on the screen here right now. This was emailed to the community a week ago on Monday, August 24th. And so if you've already participated, you don't have to do it again. But if you haven't, we hope that you will. And next slide, please. And then we just like to kick off each meeting by recapping what a registered neighborhood organization is in the city of Denver and what it is that we do in the community. And so this organization, currently named Sun, is the registered neighborhood organization for this community in the city of Denver. We're a working forum for residents to participate in pursuing the vision of this neighborhood by creating and fostering a vibrant urban community dedicated to social equity, environmental responsibility, and economic opportunity. We're a vehicle for public service. We promote civil civic discourse, and through all of this, we hope to achieve collective efficacy, which is where one person is more likely to act on behalf of the greater good and act on behalf of their neighbor's good. All right, next slide, please. All right, and so again, this is what we're doing tonight, and how we got here started on the 1st of, well, this phase of it started on the 1st of August when we announced a petition in order to change our bylaws. We require 100 signatures, and within an hour of making that announcement, we had over 100 validated signatures, and we've had over 600 residents sign in the time since. And that's in order to change our bylaws such that our name will then be Central Park United Neighbors instead of Stapleton United Neighbors, which then aligns us with what is now the community name. And I think that it's fair to say that that took effect last Wednesday, or the Wednesday before that, actually, which would have been the 19th of August, when the MCA delegates and board voted to voted to recommend the name Central Park for the community, and Brookfield has adopted that, and the city has implemented that as well. And so all of that happened about 2 weeks ago, and so it'll be a helpful thing if our organization name can align with the new community name. So a month ago, 30 days ago, which is what we're required by our bylaws, we announced that this meeting would take place today. And here we are. And so we launched this vote electronically a week ago on Monday, August 24th. We'll close this vote in 9 minutes at 7:15. And then after that, we'll just have a look at what the preliminary results are, and we'll share those. And just a reminder, we require a 66% affirmative vote in order for a measure to pass. And so that's what we'll be looking for tonight with those results, not just a greater than 50%, but a greater than 66% affirmative response. All right, what's the next slide? Is it a reminder to vote? Yeah, reminder to vote. Please vote if you haven't voted yet. And so I think I'll pause right now. So I mentioned that we're going to get an introduction from Shalise, but I wanted to save that for 7:15 when we're bringing the results into some fresh slides. So Just wanted to pause and see if there were any questions or comments at this point in the evening.
Well, this is Dana, and
Hi,
I
Dana.
would like to thank Sun or Central Park United Neighbors, hopefully in the next few minutes, for all the hard work you put in to come up with the name. That was a challenge that I am glad that your group decided to take on, because I'm not sure we would have done such a great job as the MCA.
Oh,
So
well,
thank you.
I think we were well positioned to take care of the uh, the work of finding an alternative name at this point. But that was not a pause for congratulations. But thank you for throwing those in. But that's not, I did not intend for that to be what filled the silence there. But thank you, Dana, and thanks for offering to MCA delegates to contribute to that process. So Dana is the head delegate and a board member. Are you also the head board member?
I'm the president.
President of the board and the head delegate for the MCA. Okay, so he wears two hats over there, and so I think it was just really helpful to have all of the organizations working together, and that certainly made things go as smoothly as they could have this time through. Okay, so we have 6 more minutes while the polls are open. So that's just a reminder to participate in the vote for those of you who are just joining us if you haven't voted yet. There's still 6 minutes to do so. And let's
Anybody
see.
has questions, they can raise their hand or chat the question.
Oh, sorry, there is a chat that was sent to me privately. I could read the chat items. That's helpful. Thanks. Okay, so are there any other steps after this for Sun/CPUN, or is this finally it? And then another.
This is finally it.
This is finally it. So we
Amanda,
would.
do you have a bottle of champagne sitting on your desk ready to pop it?
I have an empty glass of tea that I meant to fill up before we started the meeting, and I forgot to do that. Right.
Amanda, you can go get your tea, and I can entertain people for a couple minutes if you need to.
Oh, I'll hang out. So now we're down to 5 minutes left with the polls open.
Brian, is it worth noting all the pages we're updating and all of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we can list the things that will need to be updated should the measure pass tonight.
There's still that to do, I suppose.
So we will be should tonight's vote be successful, we will be announcing a new website and a new email address, and we'll have to flip the Facebook page name to something different. We have a group page and then I don't know what it's called, a page. So we have a page and a group site. Will the name be pronounced CPUN since Central starts with a soft C, or pronounced Spun? Yeah, I think we're going with CPUN. Is that?
I think it's one of those things.
Oh yeah, hey.
Itself.
Yeah, I think we're leaning towards CPUN. But there's a question about the logo contest. Should tonight's vote be successful? Jeff, do you want to talk about what that might look like?
Yeah, can I have 1 minute to make sure?
Please, you can have 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
1 second.
Oh, you meant to prepare. Sure. So, right. So we were waiting for after tonight's voting results to be announced so that we weren't putting carts before horses and announcing a logo contest. But that's something that Jeff and the communications committee have been putting some thought into already. And so we'll be announcing those details soon. They haven't been announced yet, but it's probably fair to say what the parameters around such a thing would be. And Jeff is getting ready to do that. And he's ready. Oh, needs 1 more minute. Okay.
No, I'm ready.
You're ready? Okay, go ahead.
So should the measure tonight pass, we'll be opening as soon as tomorrow a logo design competition. We're going to be soliciting any logo designs from community members through the 22nd of September. we don't have any compensation for any logo submissions. It's the sort of thing that the designer would need to be willing to turn over full rights and all files to. But we'd love to have as many submissions from the talented people we have in the community and across the city, really, to submit their ideas. By October 9th, if this date closes on September 22nd, October 9th, we'd like to have the field narrowed down to 3 to 5 options. The CPUN Communications Committee will be doing that narrowing. And then bring those 3 to 5 options to the community for a vote the week of October 12th, so that we can ideally be announcing a winner during our October board meeting. When we get the communication about the logo design competition out, it will come with some suggestions. Things don't use 5 colors in the logo or something like that becomes difficult to manage. We'll also have some more specific requirements about the format that we'll need the files delivered in, that kind of thing. Things that can help people that submit their ideas to be as successful as possible.
Great.
But all that'll come out, and like I said, in an email or social post in the next couple of days.
All right. Looks like we're down to, thank you, Jeff. That was very helpful.
Yeah, Jeff, I said the one thing we forgot was the countdown clock to put it on the screen to get everybody counting down.
Wait, so it's almost ready. I'm just trying to get a second hand on my phone. So
I have a second hand on my iWatch. 15, 14, 13.
Yeah. Okay, and so when that happens, I'll be clicking the button to close the poll, and we're going to turn it over to Shalise to introduce herself while we
5,
get
4,
some visuals ready.
3, 2, 1. It is 7:15, Amanda.
Okay, and the collector is closed. And there we go. Okay, Shalise, please introduce yourself while we get a few notes together for the rest of the meeting.
Amanda, I'll take the slides down.
Oh, yeah, that's helpful. Thanks.
Shalise, you're muted.
Oh, you're still muted, yeah. Good.
You're still muted.
Yeah, I still don't hear you. There you go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. How's everyone doing this evening?
Good.
All right.
Good, good. So as most of you know, my name is Shalise Hutley Harris, and I want to thank you for allowing me this time to introduce myself. So I was born and raised in Park Hill, a Denver neighborhood. This is where my love for community work started as a youth. As a youth, I've had the opportunity to participate in the Greater Park Hill Summer Youth Job Program. One of my proudest moments as a youth was building a community garden for the senior population. What I did not know at the time, the impact this garden would have on the community long-term. Participating in this program taught me the importance and value of community work. Being involved in the community is something that has always been very necessary for me. When I moved my family to the neighborhood formerly known as Stapleton, I knew I wanted to be represented by a diverse, inclusive, and relatable board. So I made a conscious decision to be the change that I wanted to see within the community. Currently, I am the first woman president of the Freedom Filing 49 HOA. Also, most recently, I won the Beeler Park District 10 delegate seat because I am the leader that listens to understand the concerns of all the residents. Winning District 10 allows me to be the voice for all, but especially the underrepresented. I will provide that new and diverse outlook that most are looking for. The climate of our society has demanded that we unite and we take a stand. Changing the community name from Stapleton was something that needed to happen. But let us not get ahead of ourselves. Changing the name is definitely a step in the right direction, but our work is not done. I hope that we can get back to the Green Book development plan and continue to use the same passion to make meaningful changes, not only within our community, but our city and our state. I want to close out my introduction by asking 2 questions. How can SUN and MCA continue to work together? And what does SUN need from MCA moving forward? SUN volunteers, thank you for your commitment, dedication, and perseverance to ensure the name change process was fair and inclusive, as well as being accountable and transparent throughout the entire process. We appreciate you and thank you.
Thank you very much, Elise, for that introduction. We're very lucky to have you serving the residents in the Beeler Park community as an MCA delegate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions for Shalise and or Dana, who's another MCA delegate, also on the call with us right now?
Welcome to the board, Shalise.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that.
Okay. All right, and there's, I think that is, okay. Brian, do you want to bring the slides back up? I'm out of them. I'm still in them, but it doesn't matter.
I am pulling them up, Amanda.
Okay.
And I am on,
Maybe slide 6 or 7.
is this the right,
Oh, that's a good one. That's a great one. Okay, so let's start there. So again, thank you, Shalise, for introducing yourself tonight. And so we will get back down to the meat of the meeting, which is announcing the vote from the vote that closed 5 minutes ago. Oh, how are we going to pronounce? So should the measure pass? How will we pronounce C-P-U-N? It'll be C-pun. So anyway, that was just a question that came to me in the chat. Okay, all right. So per our bylaws, we're required to have a 66% affirmative vote. And that's just reminding you of that. We've already stated that tonight. And so then the next slide, please.
Amanda, before we go to the next slide, just a reminder that this is subject to validation.
True. Oh, sorry. Good.
Yeah, go. You want to do your disclaimer, and then we'll go to the next slide.
Well, you can go to. There aren't any results in the next slide. It's just so.
Yeah.
Here we're showing you the pattern of when people voted and not how they voted. So the first day that the vote was released on the 24th, we had 1,515 responses, and then that whittled down and down and down each day, and then we had a little bit of a bump today being the last day, and so that's the exact same pattern that we've seen. So this is given the consistency with every round of voting that we've done so far. Like Brian just said, we'll need to go through these 2,210 votes to determine the validity of each one. But in having done that for 3 other rounds of voting so far, it hasn't changed the results like as they initially stood. So we're going to announce results tonight, but this overall number might change by, I can't imagine it would change by more than like 30 or 40. Okay. You can see if that's correct. Okay, we can go to the next slide now. And so in response to the question, I support these bylaw changes, thereby allowing the organization name to align with the new community name. There were 2,171 people who answered, and about 93% voted with an affirmative response. And so the measure passes with more than 66% of the respondents voting yes. So we are now officially Central Park United Neighbors. So, hooray. Thank you so much for sharing tonight with us, guys. It's been a couple of months coming, and this is great. This is good news, guys. All right, and then just reiterating that on the next slide. So again, we required 66%. We had 93%, so 2014 out of 2171. And the measure passes. So some next steps for us are on the next slide. We are having our next monthly meeting.
And Amanda, can I make one qualification? I think I would ask the community to be patient. We are still an all-volunteer organization. Unlike MCA, we do not have a staff to go in and do all of the changes. And we are humans and we will miss something and make a mistake. We are in the process of filing a letter with the Internal Revenue Service to officially change our name and our 501c3 status. That will take some time, and thus we can't do everything we need to do, but hopefully when the email comes out later this week, you'll see it comes from Central Park United Neighbors at gmail.com and things like that. But I just want everybody to be patient. And if you find something on the web that you feel needs to be changed, please email us and we will get to it just as quickly as we can.
Thank you, Brian. Those are all very helpful reminders. All right. And so you'll need to change. Are we going to hold on to the old website for a bit to redirect it to this one?
Both web addresses redirect. So.
Okay. But eventually that'll be phased out, but hopefully people will have become familiar with the new. If we get emails through Sun, do we sign up through CPUN? All of that will transfer.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So you don't have to do anything else. Thank you for asking. That's a good question.
And Jeff, we should put that in the letter or in the email communication that if you've already signed up, you don't have to re-sign up again.
Yeah.
If you're getting this email, then you're good to go. Okay. All right. And I think, and so we have this email address and we have this website. I think that there's a little bit of uncertainty in what we'll be able to grab with changing the Facebook page. But the rest of those are certain. And then is there anything else that we need to announce tonight? I think that does it. Is there anything on the next slide? I don't think so.
That's the last slide.
That's it. All right, guys. We promised a short and sweet meeting. And so just to kind of reiterate the significance of tonight, this was the first time that the community had an opportunity to weigh in the form of a yes/no vote for the new name. And so it was it wasn't a guarantee that it was going to pass, and it's certainly good news that it did. And so I'm very pleased. Okay. There's a comment. Oh, okay. Is there anything else that anyone has to announce tonight? Sprouts is wonderful. If you haven't stopped in yet, I recommend it.
Sprouts is wonderful, but they were actually out of sprouts today.
Oh no. I think that's ironic, isn't it? That's not just a coincidence. Okay, guys. All right. Have a wonderful evening, members of CPUN and board members of CPUN. Thanks. We will meet again soon in a couple of weeks.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Amanda, I'm on Facebook. I'll get that done as soon as I can.
Okay. And just let me, I'll see what it is, but
yep, I'll let you know.
Let us know what it ended up being. Hi, Lily. Hi, Mandel. Mandel, you missed the results. Do you want to know what they were? I mean, yeah. You can tell.
I got the gist of it
But you don't know the percentage. What do you think the percentage was?
65.
That wouldn't have passed. It had to be 66% to pass.
Oh, that's okay. So it was 68.
It was 93%.
Wow.
Yeah.
93. That's incredible.
Yeah. So it made us really comfortable in announcing preliminary results tonight, because there's no way that that'll shift down to anything below 66%.
Right.
Okay. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night, Amanda.
You too. All right, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.